have a feeling? Did he tell you today he was bumping you up the first team? When did you find out about that?
You know how coach is. Cause I get in there. And like, he was just like, let me see what you got. He put me in there, so hey, I'm not ready. Well, that's what it was.
Obviously, you got to hold on to it, and the season's not here yet. But was that a goal of yours coming into camp to earn a starting spot or a first-team spot anyway?
The goal was to be a major contributing factor to this, this team. And of course, you have to be productive on the field, and to be able to be productive on the field, you have to get on the field. So I wanted to be on the field a lot, and I wanted to show the guys that I want to play and be a productive player.
What was this summer like for you? Because I know when we look at you, you don't look anything like you did a year ago. You've obviously lost a lot of weight. So just talk about the process and how much weight you lost, I guess.
Well, this summer I lost about 42 pounds, but it was just grinding, especially having Vic as a roommate. Watching him eating cheese puffs and all that kind of stuff. But I couldn't have done it without my roommates, Vic, Troy. Vic and Troy, just those guys just pushed me a lot. It was just like there was times I felt like, man, I'm just forget it. Like we would really get into fist fights about, and later on, all right, yeah, he was right. So I couldn't have done it without those two guys, honestly.
Jose, what about staying after practice each day with a lot of those guys? I mean, you're just like tired, worn out, and you have to stay for another 10 minutes running.
Well, I basically did that for the freshmen because we have a couple freshmen actually one freshman who was actually in the exact same predicament that I was in, and I just wanted to show him, I didn't want him to learn the hard way like I did, which was just thinking it was going to fall off. You have to earn it and work and do extra, and life is hard when you're big. It's hard in the big city. So I really did that for the freshmen, but I also did that just to keep myself, in shape.
Do you remember what your top weight was when you got here? You're happy. I'm not going to say what it was, but
when the first day I stepped on, I was 398. Right now I'm at 327. My goal is to be 315 by the season. So I'm somewhat proud, but it doesn't make any difference if I lose all this weight and don't do anything about it. I want to be a productive player. When I say productive, very, a big time player in this big time program.
To lose all that weight, is there a diet that you go through day after day? Is it the same food day after day? What's your normal meal plan like?
Just eat for necessity. Just eat when you need it. You don't eat for hunger, pleasure, necessity. Throw something in there, grill. Best thing to do, I would say, for everybody is bake up a whole thing of grilled chicken and just nibble on that whenever you get home. That's all I pretty much do. There was times I did go give me a double cheeseburger or whatever, but they made me pay for it in the weight room.
Yeah, so it was that tough. You mentioned, Victor Gray's eating cheesy poops, and then so was he kind of teasing you with it? Sometimes no, he's being supportive as a teammate.
He's so nonchalant about it. He's like, yeah,
they call him Jose.
I'm like, dude, really, I don't need to see you eat this.
That's his real name.
He wouldn't give me anything. He wouldn't, he wouldn't feed me anything that he shouldn't. But he always tested. At the end of the day, he told me he was testing my character to see if I really wanted it, or I was just putting on the front.
So you talk about the guys you're playing next to on the defensive line right now.
Oh, I love those guys. Definitely. That's the name of the defensive line, the row. Troy Davis, E.J. Dunston, Victor Gray. We're like brothers. Everybody does everything together. It's finally for me. Feels like we won because he's cohesive unit. We're all together. We're all on one accord, and we just the way we play off each other on the field, which on screens and picks and stuff. It just feels right, and I hope we can keep it like that.
How do you like working with Coach Blaze Winter, new coach?
Awesome. And I'm not just saying that because he really is a great coach and they're all a great guy. He would honestly go out and walk with me at nights. And, he wasn't one of those guys that just told me what to do. He actually helped me and did things with me and stuff like that.
So you just, obviously camp is a grind and know it's a day-to-day thing. You're running after practice, but it's the work you got to put into it. So do you see the light at the end of the tunnel?
Oh,
getting excited now that the season is coming up pretty quick.
Yeah, definitely. This time last year, I was really taking myself out of practice. I wasn't even a one man, so the reps that was. But it's just better to know that you can hang, the field, because when you're overweight and you're kind of outcasted, and it's not wrong. Of course, if you can't do something, just put them to the side. But it feels good to be a part of the brotherhood and guys who they respect you more when they see you put in that effort and work just to make this whole thing work, which is the football team come together.
What is this football team capable of accomplishing this year? I mean, do you see pretty big season ahead? Do you have pretty big goals for this team?
I honestly do. Our goal is to win every game. And I honestly think that we can do that. I honestly think one game at a time, one play at a time, we can honestly you know, be an undefeated team. And it's not going to happen overnight. We got to work hard like we have. Coach O'Leary.
Amen.
One thing about Coach O'Leary, and I respect, he knows how to coach. He knows when to turn it on and put it off. So I honestly respect him for that, and I'm glad to play for a guy like Coach O'Leary.
Thanks, Jose.
All right, thanks.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot.